I'm David McCullough, and I'm an author. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a city with a great deal to see and to learn from, a lot of history. My family had settled there before the Revolutionary War, which is hard for many people to imagine. It must have been, it was virtually the frontier then. And I have always loved books. I've always loved hearing people tell stories. I like to tell them myself. And I think that the opportunities of Pittsburgh in that day, in public school particularly, to explore the arts and to take advantage of the wonderful art gallery and Natural History Museum and Public Library that were combined into the Carnegie Library complex had a great effect on my interest in a lot of things. I was fortunate that I went to good schools, fortunate that I went to a very great university, Yale University, where I was an English major. And I came out of Yale knowing that I had to face the decision of what to do with my life. Tough problem for everybody at that stage. And I had about 7 things I wanted to do, and I couldn't make up my mind, so I thought, I'll just go to New York and something will happen. And I was very eager to get to New York. And then something did happen. I wound up getting a job as a very junior, very low employee in the training program at a new magazine called Sports Illustrated. And it was working there at Time and Life Publications for the next 6 years that I learned about being edited, and learned not only to take editing and take the advice of good editors, but learned how to edit myself. And that's the hardest thing for any writer to learn, how to edit yourself. And I then went on to answer the call of President Kennedy to what one could do for one's country rather than what one's country can do for you. I took it very much to heart and quit my job and went to Washington and wound up working for the U.S. Information Agency at a very exciting time because the agency was being run by the great Edward R. Murrow. And that, in many ways, was the turning point in my life because it was then in Washington, quite by chance, that I discovered some material about the terrible Johnstown flood of 1889 when a dam broke in the mountains of western Pennsylvania and destroyed an entire city, taking the lives of some 2,500 people, that I decided to try and write a book about it. I didn't have any experience in writing a book. I'd never done historical research, but I found that I not only could do it, but I loved doing it. I found what I wanted to do with my life, and I tried then to write the kind of book about the subject that I wanted to read, that I would like to read. And in a way, that's been what I've been doing ever since.